What is up, YouTube family? Man, it's so nice to be back, and it's so nice to be back with Jenna. How's it going?
Oh, it's going. Good to be back with you.
So, Jenna, today we're going to show the people how to stack away at least $100,000 by the end of the year. So, roughly about $20,000 a month, one deal a month from July all the way until December 31st. So, I'll let you take over and show them how it's done.
Yeah. All right. So let me get my screen rolling here. And yeah, you're giving them a little head start if we're not even supposed to start until July. So they'll even get a head start. So that's pretty good.
So,
All right.
for those of you who's watching this, so what Jenna's going to do is she's going to show you the software that we've been using, closing on another deal for, I think $27,000, leveraging this software. So we got to talk about, how to pull the list, leveraging this software, what list to pull, how to skip trace, get the owner phone number, what marketing should you use to hit them with, and then, putting the property in the contract, and then finding the cash buyer, all using this software. So if you don't have the software, I highly suggest that you open up your laptop, follow along with Jenna, because she's going to take you through step by step and showing you exactly how it's done. And this is the latest and the newest software that we're currently using right now to dominate any market. I'm talking about any market, any zip code. And Jenna, let's talk a little bit about the software. Why is it so powerful compared to the rest?
Yeah. So this is custom created with you. So all the things that you have learned throughout your over a decade of real estate experience has gone into creating this custom product for your different students, your followers. So what we're able to do with the software is we're able to find all the different deals. It's almost like we have our own personal Google search for all nationwide properties. So over 160 million properties we have all condensed right here into one platform. So we don't have to go to this website or that website or try to find active listings over here or pre-foreclosures over here. We have everything all consolidated into one location right here. So what we can do is we can just come in here, very simple, type in our geographic location. We're going to have all of our different types of leads that we can contact. We have, obviously we have active listings, but other than that, everything is all unlisted, unadvertised, off-market deals. So these are properties that are not even listed, that nobody else even knows about these opportunities. So we have access to go here, go directly to these different sellers. We can contact them directly through the system and skip trace them. And then from there, obviously, you guys know as a wholesaler, you have great leads coming in. You can get them under contract, but what good is all of that if you have nobody to wholesale it to? A common complaint I'm sure you hear all the time, Kong, is I don't have anybody on my buyer's list. I don't know who to wholesale it to. I have this great deal, but I don't know what to do next. We've solved that with the software. So now we can come in here. We can find all of our cash buyers in our same geographic location. We can talk about pushing it out to all of our different buyers. We can email blast them. We can shoot it out to our different cash buyers list. And then we can wholesale these opportunities all right here from one location. So if you guys don't have the software, let me show you where you can get it. So you can go to, very simple, Deals for Me Now. So DEALS, the number 4, MENOW. So you go to dealsformenow.com and then you can just click on Get Started. You're going to see that there's going to be 2 different packages that you can choose from. It all is sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So Jenna, I want to add on top whatever Jenna just said. So you guys are looking for a one-stop shop. Instead of having multiple different software systems that you're using, it just gets so complicated. This is the one-stop shop. All right. So for those of you who don't have the software, and I want to add to Jenna, what's so powerful about the software is that it uses AI where it actually detects and lets you know who's likely going to sell their property, getting into a bad situation, and sell their property where they have to sell the property at a discount in the next 90 days. And that's the upper hand. That's the advantage you get over other investors. So before it hits their list, you already hit them first. So once again, Jenna's going to walk you through what list to target, how to market, right? What market to hit them with, finding the buyer, all right here. And hopefully for those of you who take actions, hopefully we'll look forward to seeing you closing your first deal in the next 30 days. And hopefully you can consistently build on that. And the goal is to get you built to close one deal a month, $20,000 pop. So from now until the end of the year, you should be able to stack away at least 100 G's.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about the AI. So you kind of gave them a little teaser on what AI is. And artificial intelligence, guys, is such a buzz term these days. Everybody hears about AI, this, machine learning technology, that. So what we have done is we have integrated artificial intelligence technology into the software in addition to all of our fantastic lead types to be able to predict the likelihood of the different people on the list selling their property in the next 90 days. So there's going to be two different packages you can choose from. I'll give you a quick overview of those whenever we get within the software. You're going to see here that this is going to turn on the artificial intelligence for one zip code versus your entire county. So let me just show you what that looks like just so that you can understand it a little better. But I'm going to share my screen here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to type in a geographic location. So let's say we want to go to Jacksonville. I'm actually headed there next week. It's one of my favorite markets to target. And guys, I'm an investor just like you. So I invest in right now, I invest in a couple different regions across the country for the last 11 years, wholesaling, rehabbing. So a lot of fun stuff in the real estate arena, but I love hanging out with you all. So you're going to see here, we type in, just simply type in our geographic location here. We have over 300,000 different leads. That's great, but less than 1% of these people even have a desire to sell their property anytime soon. So what we need to do is we need to sift through them. We need to narrow it down. And of course, we can come in here, we can select from all of our different lead types. So, but what we're going to talk about first is the AI, because I like to say the AI is one of the sexiest tools for the entire software. So just to explain it to you in English, because sometimes AI is just like all over the place. But what we have done as a company is we have purchased over 40 years worth of real estate sales information. So if you can imagine every house in the entire country that has sold in the last 40 years since the 1980s until now, we own all of the financial information and circumstantial information on every seller and all the property details on every property that was affiliated. It sounds super creepy. Sometimes it is. It's kind of like the same technology if you're sitting by your phone and you say something and then all of a sudden an ad pops up on Facebook. That technology is out there. So what we're talking about is we own billions of data points on all the real estate trends and history of the past. It only makes sense that if we can understand and analyze the past, then we can leverage that to predict the trends of the people of the current and the future. So what we do is we take all that information, and guys, we're talking about things like very invasive stuff. Like, are people late on credit card payments? Are they behind on their mortgage? Because what we're trying to do is like reverse engineer it. So where we say, okay, these houses sold, but why? Like, what caused that person to sell their house? So we're trying to reverse engineer it almost like a detective would on a crime scene. And we're looking at things like, were they late on credit card payments? Were they having their utilities shut off? Was there a death in their family? Why did they sell? Did they go through a divorce? Tell me about how much money they make, and tell me about all the income generators of that household. Did their kids move away to college? Like, why? So we take all that information and the property details itself, like how old was the house? Did it most likely need work? Did it have a screened-in porch, a pool, all these things? We take all that information, we put it into our genetic algorithm that was custom created for us, for Kong, by somebody who worked at NASA. Like, you didn't know you had a NASA person on staff, okay? We put it into our genetic algorithm, and then we're going to cross-reference it with all the current people of today. And we get what is called our sellability score. So what we do is we score all the properties on a scale of 0 to 1,000 being the best, on how likely we predict in the next 90-day window that these properties will sell. Like I said, 1,000 is our top number. So instead of coming in here, like, what we can do is, of course, we can come in here and say, show me all the different people that are an absentee owner. So somebody who owns a property that they don't personally live in. That's great. But how do we know if that person has any motivation to sell? We really don't. We're just going to be blanket marketing to 82,000 people, spending thousands of dollars, tons of time with no real direction. It's almost like we're walking blind on the highway, nowhere to go. However, if we can turn on our artificial intelligence where it is looking at all those invasive things, like legally, we can't show you all the reasons why the person is scored what they're scored. Sometimes we can figure it out. Somebody may be delinquent on taxes in a pre-foreclosure scenario, but we can't see things if their utilities are shutting off. We can't see if somebody passed away and they were a main income generator, but our system knows it. And so what we can do then is we can say, okay, AI, come in here and we're going to look at the wholesale score first. So you're going to see that we rank these properties 3 different ways: retail, rental, and wholesale. How likely do we predict that this property will sell in the next 90 days at a retail price range? This is more directed towards if you're looking for listings, you want something more list price, maybe you do creative financing deals, whatever your niche is. But this one is not necessarily financially motivated. They have circumstances in their life. Like it could be that they have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house and their kids just graduated and moved away to college. And all the signs and symptoms would say that person most likely may want to downsize, but it's not because they're behind on their payments. The rental one is going to be, it's either currently a rental or in a market where there's a lot of rental activity. So if you want something potentially at a discount, more towards that landlord type of niche, that's for you. Now, again, our favorite, most of our favorite is going to be purple, wholesale. This property, there's something going on either with the property or the person themselves. There's something going on that it indicates to our system that all the people in the past had the same look and feel who ended up selling their property at a discount, and this person has the same symptoms. We may call them and they may say, I'm not ready to sell now, but it's going to be consistency is going to be your best friend. Being consistent and follow up is going to be what's going to get you guys these deals all day long. Like there's been deals where I've had to where they were listed for like $135,000 or $145,000. Fast forward, I ended up getting that deal for $35,000. So it all comes down to your follow-up. So you're going to see here this wholesale number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this and then I'm going to go into my wholesale and I'm going to say to my system, show me everything that's above a 500 score. Anything above a 500 indicates to us that it has the look and feel where it needs to sell at that discounted price. We still have 67,000 people. So obviously we want to be more, more aggressive. Let's see if we can go to 800 and above. The higher we go, the more likelihood that these properties will sell in the next 90-day window. Now let's go even higher. Let's go to a 900 score. Remember, 1,000 is our highest. Now we're going to come in here. We still have 2,000 different people. Over 2,000 people have a score of 900 and above. Now, I'm not a math scholar, guys, so I'm going to get out my calculator here for a second, because when we have a score of 900 and above, I'd said earlier that when we just don't use AI, we have a less than a 1% chance of the people on that list selling in the next 90 days. When we use our AI and we have a 900 score and above, we have a 16.3% likelihood that the people on the list right now will sell in the next 90 days. So if we have 2,208 people, I'm going to times that by my 16.3. That means that on this list, because we do our own look back analysis, we don't just tell you this stuff, we test it and we track it and we beat it up all the time. We pull our own information all across the country. We wait 90 days and then we cross-reference what sold versus what we predicted. And again, we have the 16.3% accuracy. So that means that on this list right here, 359 to 360 of these people will most likely sell in the next 90 days. If you have a list of 100 people, let's just go small. Let's say 100 people. We may look at a list and we're like, oh, there's only 100 people in my area. This is tiny. If you have 100 people, that means 16 or 17 of them will sell in the next 90 days. How many deals do you need to be able to make the one deal a month? If we have 16 or 17 of them on one list of 100 people, you guys are going to dominate this market. You're going to be able to wholesale more than one deal a month. You're going to be able to do one deal a day, a week. You're going to be able to blow your competition out of the market. So this is just one of the ways that we can leverage the AI. You can come in here, again, do the retail, do the rental numbers, but you can combine it with all these different lead types. Now, I'm going to show you my favorite search that I do. This is going to be one that's going to have a different level of motivation, a different flavor to it. What I do is I come in here to my, go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, Jenna. So for those of you, for some reason, Jenna, I'm having issue with my camera because when I left Hawaii, my guy just came in here and set up my studio and makes it supposed to be more efficient. But there's something wrong with my camera right now. But I'm sure that you guys rather see Jenna. You rather see Jenna's face than mine. So I think this is going to be fine. So I just want to let you guys know that my camera, for some reason, is not working. Jenna, you're doing absolutely an amazing job. So Jenna, let's, just because we have time limited. So right now, Jenna's going to show you what is her favorite list to target. And then from there, let's get into, skip tracing the list, the marketing, and then the buyers.
Okay, cool. Yep. So I'm just going to show you guys real quick one of my favorite lists. I like to go in here to the delinquent tax activity. I go into the more tab all the way to the bottom and I target out-of-state absentee owners. So this is basically somebody who not only doesn't live in that property, but they don't live even in the same state as that property. So now we've narrowed it down to 1,500 different people. Now let's sprinkle on AI. So let's come in here and say, give me all the people that maybe have a score of 700 and above. We'll see how many people we get. So we have 142 people. Again, this is going to be a fantastic list because we're targeting a specific niche in addition to leveraging the AI. Now I'm going to take this list. I'm either going to select multiple pages of 25 or all 142 of them. They're going to go up into the My Lead section. So this is almost like our little shopping cart. I'm going to go to Lead Trace. And then this is where we're going to scrub them and we're going to be able to get you their contact information. If there's any LLCs, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Jenna, sorry to interrupt again. So the thing is, I want you guys to really understand here is a lot of times when you targeting, a lot of you, all you doing is you just go on the MLS and you just, making offer on property that are on market. I'm telling you, that's just a waste of time. Now, I'm not saying that there's no deals on the MLS, but in today's world, dude, you're going to spend way too much time just to get one deal from the MLS versus finding off-market deals. Off-market deals is where actually the big money's at. You're targeting these motivated seller where they're only talking to you. They're not talking, they don't have hundreds of thousands of investors making offer on that same property every single day. So the margin is really thin if you do get anything under contract on the MLS. Off-market deal is just the best way to go. And I know a lot of you, what you're doing is that you're spending too much of your money on lists that are just not dial in. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have a list of 10,000 people, but all of those, maybe they, the property's worth 100,000 and they owe 95,000, or they even owe more than what they're worth. So what Jenna's showing you here is we're diving into extreme motivated seller. Like these people are in pain. They've been stabbed many times and they're bleeding. And those are the one that you want to come in because those are the one with the highly motivated. Those are the one that say, hey, Kong, dude, I'm done, dude. Like, hey, I know my property's worth 100,000, but I'm willing to take 40,000 or 50,000. So what Jenna's doing is that she's targeting the low hanging fruits. So when we're talking about lists, it's not about the size of the list, but it's who's on the list. That's what's more important. Because Jenna, you told me a story about you pulling a list of what? It's very small. And then you end up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leveraging the AI. Yeah. Cause I'm skeptical. Like whenever I heard about AI, I'm like, if I'm going to be talking about this, I need to be a testament of it. So I pulled a list really small in my area, 59 people. I targeted absentee owners of a score of 600 and above. I had 59 people. I sent out some postcards. I spent $87 on the postcards. I had 13 calls back. I'm not saying that that's going to be your exact results, but that was my exact results. I looked at it about 7 of them that were worth my time. One of them I referred to another agent in my brokerage because I'm a licensed agent. And another one I bought at subject to. I rented out at $750. My payment's $307. I make over $440 every single month off of one campaign that I did just to see if it worked, just to be able to talk about it. So $440 every single month from an $87 campaign that I did. So I'm the biggest cheerleader. And that's just one deal, one example of how small your list could, because it's quality over quantity. Like you can, of course, you can send out lists and do stuff for, 2,000, 5,000 people. But if we can be so super niche focused and you guys can get the deals without having to contact 5,000 different people and we can do, a couple hundred. So you guys can take these leads, you put them into your system here. So for only 15 cents a piece, we can pierce the corporate veil. We can get you LLC, any sort of corporations, businesses, trust information in addition to individuals. We're going to scrub it against a do not call list and a litigator list. And you can save them into your database if you want to. And then we're just going to agree to the terms and condition and boom. So for $21.30, like you can even go and get you and one person pretty much a Happy Meal these days for that. So you're going to be able to spend a little over $20 to go and get 142 people's contact information. And then you're going to hit the phones and you're going to reach out and you're going to be a hunter. These are the things, guys, that will make you become an investor. Everybody says when they get into real estate, oh, there's no deals out there. There's too much competition. There's nothing on the MLS. We're not contacting the MLS. We're looking for the people that are basically sitting there drowning, not knowing what to do, stressed out. they're up at night. They don't know what to do. They don't know who to turn to. And then here we are, because we can contact all those different people. Guys, these are just a couple lists. Like if you look in your system, you're going to have things like pre-foreclosures, foreclosures. You're going to have all these different types of people. So now I'm going to show you what we're going to do in the event that you want to find your cash buyer. Is that where you want me to go next?
Hold on a second, Jenna. I want to add to that. For those of you looking for commercial, apartment, vacant land, because I get those kind of comments, like it's all right here, right in front of you at your fingertips. And I want to add to that as well about Jenna saying closing deals. You know, we had a couple of students that joined my Wholesale to Million Academy, and they were like, hey, Colin, you know, I was, you know, for the last 4 or 5 months, you know, and they were having other mentor teaching them. And it's almost like the old school way. And one of the guy went door knocking, and he door knocked for like 6 months. I said, and then he ended up getting a deal. But I said, bro, dude, how many door can you knock a day? He spent 5 hours, Jenna, knocking on, I think 5 hours a day. I think only knock on like, I think he said 10 to 15 or 20 houses. I don't remember. I did an interview with him, but I said, dude, those are like the old school way. If I were you guys, you know, I wouldn't take my time, because within that 1 hour, oh no, he said 1 hour he can door knock 5 house or some, or 10 house, you know. And I said, dude, within that 1 hour, my VA could have gone on here, pull a narrow niche list, and they could have called like 100 or 200 people already within that 1 hour. So they're doing 10 times. So it's just about the time and the efficiency. You know what I mean? So a lot of you, and you know, Mark is another student that just leveraged this software and closed his first deal for $5,000. And I know some of you be like, well, Colin, $5,000, that's not much money, dude. But a lot of you guys don't understand. You know, when you're closing your first deal, it's not about the amount. It's now that he has the knowledge, he has the experience. It's rinse and repeat. If he can make $5,000 on the deal, the next deal he can do 50,000, and then he can get to $500,000. It's about that first deal, right? It's like, well, once you have done it once, you know how to do it again and again and again. And he was just super excited. And then he said he spent the last 4 months doing it all wrong. So, and this is the software that I tell all of my students to use, because this is how you go out there and you dominate the market. And I know some people, Jenna, can you also touch base on this? I know somebody mentioned, is this the MLS?
Is this the MLS? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
We actually pull in all the MLS feeds all across the country. Within the next 60 to 90 days, we're going to have almost all of the MLS data integrated into the system. So you'll be able to see before and after images, guys. And there's going to be some really cool updates coming up. I won't be able to, I don't want to waste a whole bunch of time talking about it. I won't want to spill the beans yet. But we're going to be integrating some really cool stuff where you're going to be able to click on an investor, see their entire portfolio, see every property they own. So there's going to be some really cool advancements coming into the system that we'll talk about coming up in the future here.
Oh, shit. Well, Jenna, also too, could you touch base, you know, obviously now that you guys got a list at your target, hopefully that you saw a lot of you that watch this actually follow through and actually execute. You know, a lot of people, Jenna, I believe that they don't get the results they want. Number one is they don't take actions. They procrastinate. They listen to podcasts. They watch a bunch of my video, other people's video. They read a bunch of books, but they haven't done shit, dude. And I'm telling you, dude, nobody can teach you how to get the first deal until you jump into the game and actually do it. So I hope that you're watching this and you'll be like, and you know, Jenna, I believe that the only reason people would actually change and start doing something else to improve their life is, one, unhappy or unsatisfied. Otherwise, if you're in that comfort mode, there's no reason why you would change. Like, you try to change, but eventually within a few days, you go back to your norm. So, like, you know, when I put out video, I'm putting out video for those of you who be like, hey, Kong, I'm sick and tired of where I'm at. Like, I know that I can be better. I can do better. I can make more money. I have so much more potential, man. I just don't know what to do. And here's this is for you. Show you exactly what to do. Now it's up to you to make it happen, right? Because I can take you to the gym, dude, but I can't do your push-up for you. Because if I do, I'm getting all the muscle, baby. You ain't getting shit, all right? So you need to put in the work, dude, because nothing works if you don't. Right. So I hope that you follow through this and give it a shot. Like, Mark closed his first deal for $5,000. That $5,000 will pay for what? 3 years of this software. So a lot of you be like, hey, so, when it comes to like people, Jenna, when it comes to investing in themselves, they'll be like, oh, I don't got the money. I don't have, dude. But when it goes, they drop $100 on like, a pair of shoes, and a pair of shoes doesn't do shit. And they drop $100 on a pair of shoes. No problem. If they don't got the money, they'll find a way. But when it comes to investing in themselves, all right, they're like, oh, something that will make you more money. And you come up with excuses. And that's why I like to say you're either making money, you're making excuses. The people that are making money, man, they'll find a way and they'll figure it out. And most importantly, they take action. And the second thing that people don't get results is you're not committed. And I'm telling you right now, there is no get rich quick business out there, gigs out there. There's no side hustle that will get you rich quick. You need to pick one vehicle, one business that you want to build, and you just have to decide that hey, I'm going to commit. And a lot of times you'll be like, well, Kong, when do I know it's time to call it quit? I think you got to give it at least a year. After a year, dude, shit, man, you're probably doing it all wrong. So you might need a mentor or somebody to guide you, right? But I would give it a year. If within that year, if you don't get the results and you have done everything you can, then maybe at that time, if you want to look into something else, you can. But I'm telling you, you put in so much time, so much effort. A lot of you've been going at this for 3 months, 4 months, and you're like, Kong, this is not working. Well, have you done everything yet? Have you tried everything yet? And maybe the thing that you're doing is not working because you're not doing different things. And that's why, if you're doing the same things, you're trying to get a different results, it's not going to happen. And let me share with you a quick story. I got into real estate about 12 years ago. For the first 6 months, all I did was cold call Craigslist. I went out, I meet with the seller, Jenna. I did everything. Like I took massive freaking action. And then I decided, 6 months go by, I got no results. And I was taking massive action. Every single day I was meeting the seller. I get out of my comfort zone. Everybody I come in contact with, I tell them, hey, we buy houses for cash, blah, blah, blah. Anybody that's interested in selling, we give you referral fee, all of that, right? And then 6 months go by, and I say, I'm not getting the results that I want. And then I knew that I need a mentor, like a hands-on mentor, right? And then I asked myself the questions, and some of you can relate to this, and I'll be like, and I was being cheap. I didn't want to spend money on hiring a mentor, but I knew that I'm a type of person that needs that hands-on coaching. So I asked myself the question. The question is, Kong, do you want to see the next 6 months, the next year of your life to be like the last? Which means you're just trying to figure shit out. And I'm like, no, I'm sick and tired of this. And I said, dude, Kong, every single month that goes by and you don't know how to make $20,000 a month, that is how much it's going to cost you. Opportunity cost for not knowing how to do the shit because I was being cheap. So I just want to tell you. And then after that, I decided to hire my mentor, and I flew him out first class. I paid him a lot of money, more money than probably, dude, any one of you have ever paid. So I pay a lot of, I flew him out for 3 days, but he showed me exactly what I needed to do. And within 3 days, I got my first property in a contract. And for those of you who know my story, I started out as a fix and flipper. We actually bought it, fix it, flip it for a profit. My first deal went really well, but I don't recommend any of you get into the whole fix and flip game. And for those of you who is into the fix and flip game, I highly recommend that you need to add wholesaling to your toolbox. You need to learn how to wholesale because you can't buy every single property. And what happened to me is, Jenna, when I was doing the fix and flip, and I have realtors, because I network with realtors, so they'll bring me like pocket listing. And I have wholesaler, right? Because I submitted my information onto a bunch of sites. So I get all these wholesalers sending me deals. And when they send me deals, guess what I had to do? I turn them down. Because I was like, dude, I'm tap out, bro. I got no more moolah. I got no more money. So I'm tapping out. I can only do so many at a time. But if I knew what I knew today, Jenna, I would have get that property in a contract. Let's just say if another wholesaler brought me the deal, dude, I would have JV the deal, sell it to my investor friend. Because obviously when you're in the fix and flip, whatever business you're in, you start to surround yourself with that same, people doing the same thing. So I would having a lot of fix and flipper friend that, want deals. And I was like turning it down because I'd be like, hey, or I'll be like, hey, contact this guy, contact this girl. And I was turning away all these opportunity where I could have JV the deal, or if an agent brought me a pocket listing, I could have locked that property in a contract, boom, sell the contract over to my investor friend and make a quick 20 to 25K. And what I love about wholesaling is that there's pretty much no risk. If you set up the contract correctly, and I know some of you worry, well, Con, what if I can't find a buyer? As long as you are within the inspection period. So typically for us, we tie a property in a contract for 30 to 60 days. So within that time period, if I can't find a buyer, I can go back to the seller. Number one, before you cancel the contract, one, extend it. Try to see if you can get more time and get the seller to come down on price. And then three, worst case, you cancel the contract. And then worst come to worst, you lose your earnest money deposit to the seller. It could be as little as $10. Your earnest money only need to be $10. For me now, every single property I put on a contract, $250. And let's just say that I put 10 property in a contract, $250 times 10. Jenna, I'm not good with math though. Hold on a second.
2,500.
So, what?
2,500.
Yep. So worst case, if the market, I wake up tomorrow and the market tanked by 30%, and I got all these property in a contract at a wrong price. I call the seller back. I can't, seller won't give me more time. They said, hey, you said you're going to buy. Worst case, lose your earnest money deposit. Worst case, $2,500 for 10 property. Imagine if you buy, fix, and flip. If you already bought the property, you're done, bro. And, I did the whole fix and flip for 4.5 years. I almost lost everything. At the point, Jenna, I got $1.5 million tied up, and I just couldn't leverage anymore. And I was in a distress mode. Like I was the investor where you called me, you'd be like, hey, Carl, it's going to worth $250,000. I'll pay you $125. I'll be like, dude, show me the money. I was that close to going bankrupt and just losing everything. And that's why I tell people right now. And what got me out of that was wholesaling. I found the seller. I sent her a letter. Basically just say, hey, my name's Carl. I'm interested in buying your property, making you a free, no risk, no obligation cash offer on your property. We're willing to buy the property as is. No realtor commission, no closing costs. Freaking quick closing any day, anytime you want. If you're interested, call me back. So she called me back. I was at Home Depot walking around trying to pick out material. I was walking around, Jenna, trying to pick out material for my rehab project. And then she calls me. I pick up the phone, and then we were talking, and I talked to her. And after about our fourth conversation, I had the property lock up on a contract, and we signed the contract at McDonald's. Can you believe it? We signed the contract at McDonald's, and I ended up finding the buyer within like 2 days. We closed that thing in 15 days. End up making $28,000 on it. And that, Jenna, to me was an aha moment. I said, oh, shit, dude, if I can make $28,000 in 15 days, what the hell am I doing fixing and flipping and risking hundreds of thousands of dollars, waiting for 4 to 6 months to get paid? Oh, shit, I'm shutting down my whole fix and flip operation, Jenna. Went all into wholesaling, and then it took me years to start building up a team, etc., to get to where I am today, doing 6-figure a month. Now, I'm sharing this with you is to let you know that I have no college degree. I don't have any business experience. I don't have a GE, the D. All right. So if I can do it, building a 6-figure a month wholesaling business, you can too. But it takes work. It takes commitment. It takes grit. Dude, it takes everything you got, bro. Jen, I'll let you take over.
Yeah. I mean, I went to school for radiology. So you see how much that really helps me. I mean, unless you need x-ray vision is about basically it. But yeah, that's basically, I completely understand. Like the things that you're talking about. I mean, I was a hardcore rehabber. And then when COVID hit, it's like you have to learn how to adjust your sales. And if you don't have the basics of understanding wholesaling, then you're really going to struggle here. So let me show you guys here quickly how we can find our cash buyers. So if we were focusing on Jacksonville, we found some different properties. Let's say that we contacted those different people. We found those different deals. Then what we're going to do is we're going to type in that same area again. We're going to go into our lead types, and we're going to click on cash buyers. So, and then we're going to go into our owner types and we're going to select businesses because I want fellow business owners, fellow LLCs, S Corps, some sort of business entity, AKA investors who are like me, who are buying houses in my specific region, buying them in cash. And I'm going to hit search. Now it's going to give us probably thousands of different cash buyers, but 27,000, but I want to be more time sensitive. I don't really care about the one person that bought one house back in 2016. I want somebody now and current. So I'm going to go into my more tab and I'm going to go about halfway down and I'm going to look at the last sale date. So depending on the size of your list here, let's go just to the last 3 months and see how many people we get. So if you're in a tiny little area and you only have 1,000 people on your list, then you may want to stick to the last year. I have 479 different people. Let's look at just even the last month and see what we can get here. And so we have 84 people. So maybe you're going to want to stick to we can do the last 3 months here. And so you're going to take this list. We're going to skip trace it just like we did before with our actual leads. And then we're going to be able to get these people's contact information, guys. So if you're sitting there and you're saying like, oh, I don't know who to wholesale it to, there's nothing wrong, guys, with starting here first. Like if you're a little nervous to start your marketing, to go cold call these motivated sellers, do reverse wholesaling where you start out with finding your buyer first. You can totally work in reverse. And that's the beautiful thing about wholesaling. You could come in here, you can contact all 479 of these people. Some of them may not answer, and we're going to get their phone numbers, guys, and their email addresses. I had 2 fellow investor friends just the other week. One of them was able to wholesale a deal for $22,000. One was $20,000 by literally doing this exact same thing. They literally took this list, they skip traced it, they got their email addresses. And I don't want to tell you this, but they didn't even call them. They didn't even call the people, like, which I recommend you do, but they just straight up emailed them their deal. And they were able to wholesale them that week just by leveraging this. You were going to get all these people's contact information. These are actual cash buyers in your area that have bought a house within the last quarter. And we can reach out to them to start building our buyers list. It's not going to be any sort of rocket science on what we're going to say to them. Remember, people live in an incentivized world, in an instantaneous world where they want things done for them and they want it done yesterday. So if somebody called you as an investor and they said, hey, I have all these deals, all these off-market opportunities. Do you want first dibs at them? Holy heck, yes. Like, yes, then that's what we are to these people. We're contacting them and saying, this is who I am. I'm getting all these unlisted off-market opportunities. I want to be able to reach out to you first and foremost. Are you still buying and what are you looking for? So I can bring it to you first and foremost. Just be a real person when you contact these people. And then we're going to add them into our contact list. We're going to be able to save their information. We can email blast them in the future. But it's really as simple as just coming in here, finding those different motivated sellers, skip tracing them, contacting them, getting those deals under contract, and then building your buyers list simultaneously. So when you do have these deals, all you literally have to do is just marry the two together. It's just that simple, guys.
Woo, love it. So, I also want to say this for those of you, my camera is working, right? My camera.
There you go. There you are.
My camera works again. And, for those of you who always dream of having a virtual business or a remote business where you can be anywhere in the world, make money while you travel, I'm telling you, virtual wholesaling is the way to go. And we just went to Hawaii, Jenna, and, I have people, so the guy over there said, hey, I asked him, I said, hey, so how much does it cost to live here in Hawaii comfortable? And for those of you who know, man, Hawaii is expensive.
Yeah.
And he said, you need to make at least $100,000 to live comfortably. And someone makes 60,000. This guy got, making 65,000. I said, bro, dude, like he's living paycheck to paycheck and he's struggling. I said, dude, what if I just show you how to make an extra $80,000 to $100,000 a year extra on top of whatever you're currently doing right now, working part-time? He said, dude, show me. I said, so my whole thing is, a lot of you be like, well, Con, closing one deal a month is hard. Okay, that's fine. What if you just do one deal every 3 months? Dude, you got 3 months to do it. Even if you just putting, 3 to 4 hours on the weekend. I'm talking about just the weekend. Within 3 months, you should be able to close one deal. The question is, you probably don't put in the work and you probably don't know what list to pull and you probably don't know what to say when you get on the phone. Okay? So what I'm saying, one deal every 3 months, $25,000. You can stack away 80 to 100K on top of whatever you're currently doing right now. Imagine how much impact that would do to your life. Just be able to make an extra 20 to 25K every 3 months. And when I was 20, when like I'm 40 now, but when Lon and I was 20, I was watching all these people online, having a virtual business where they're able to travel to Mexico, Bora Bora, the Caribbean, and they were just on their laptop and making money. And I was like, oh shit, this ain't real. You ain't gonna sell me this bullshit, dude. And I'm telling you, man, until you live it, you'll be like, dang, this is real. And I can tell you right now, I'm experiencing it. It is real. All right. But it takes work, takes commitment, and you got to make the sacrifice. You got to be willing to say, hey, I'm going to pay the price today. So that way I can wake up and pay any price I want. Jenna, when Lon and I first went to Hawaii, our first trip ever. And this was I was working for the company. So when you work for the company for 2 years and you perform good, and I was a hustler. So I did really, really well. So within a year, they actually, pay for the whole Hawaii trip. And it was my first time. And I remember till today, Jenna, jumping in the pool. Lon and I was on a tight budget. I think we only had, maybe $500 to $1,000 to spend. That was our budget. That was our budget for that vacation trip. It was 1 week, 5 days. And I remember Jenna jumping in the pool and I saying, Lon, this is the best life ever. This is the life I want, Lon. Like, man, we get to go on vacation, swimming in a pool, living at this nice condo and yada, yada, yada. And here Lon and I, doing it all the time, whenever we want. And I remember when we left Hawaii, Lon cried. And she and I think on this trip, and she reminded me, she said, Kong, did you know why I cried when we first went to Hawaii? She cried because she said, Kong, I don't know when we can come back here again. One, it was so expensive. And I knew that we had to sacrifice many years to get to where we are or where we want so we can come back here. And that's why she cried. She loves it so much. And Lon keep on telling me her last life, she's Hawaiian. Yeah, she keep on saying that. She's like, oh, my last life, I must be Hawaiian. That's how much she loves it. And man, that broke my heart, Jenna, when I remember we came home and was like at midnight, we went out to Denny's because she couldn't sleep. And it breaks my heart because the reason why is because I was like, damn, man. God damn, like how can I be a man that I can do this for her? Like, seeing Lon, seeing my wife saying she wants something, and I'm here struggling and can't make it happen, and here she's crying over this, it breaks my heart. And that's why, even till today, I get up and I still hustling, I still grind, I still go out there and try to get that money, is because there's so many things that Lon wants that I still can't do it for her. And I want to be the guy that'll be like, hey, whatever it is that you want, even if I can't get it for you, I'll make it happen. And that's why.
Yeah, no excuses.
Yeah, and I'm telling you guys right now, for those of you, as a man, as a husband, as a father, you need to go out there, set good example, and you need to be the one that is a provider, that goes out there and do whatever it takes, make the sacrifices, suck it up, be the man that your family can lean on. And I'm telling you right now, man, and that's how I was brought up, and that's how I was raised, seeing my dad and what he does for my mom. And that's why I guess that's why I am the person I am today, is because everything that Lon said that she wants, I want to be able to go out there and make it happen. And I think, as a man, you should be the provider. You should be the person that your family can run to and know that they are being taken care of. That's it.
Mic drop.
And, now let's go back to real estate. For those of you, I also met people who also wants to talk about owning rental property. All right. So if you want to be a landlord, you want to own rental property, I'm telling you right now, the first thing you need to do, number one, the most important thing that you need to do, and you only need to focus on building your own business. Now, let's just say that you'll be like, hey, Kong, what if I'm happy? So my whole thing is you got to get rich first before you can get wealthy. And let me explain for those of you who don't understand, because there's, there's so many people on social media, and a lot of you're listening to too many damn people, man. You're listening to too many people, and you're getting mixed information. So when you make a move, you're not making a clear move. Like you can't make a move with confidence because you're listening to too many people. One people is telling you to do this, another person to telling you to do this. I'm telling you right now, coming from nothing, and if you're just like me, coming from nothing, you weren't born in a rich family, you weren't born in a middle class family. You're trying to climb it up. You're trying to make it up to the top with no support, no help, no guidance. Your family was an entrepreneur, business owner. I'm telling you right now, the biggest thing you need to focus on is building your own business first. And let me explain to you why. So let's just say that you got, $50,000, $100,000 stack away. And you decided, you'd be like, hey, Con, well, people tell me to go buy rental property. So that way, one day, if my passive income exceed my JOB income, I can quit and retire. And I'm telling you right now, that is a 10 to 20-year game plan that you're playing. So you will be stuck at the JOB for the next 10 to 20 years. And if you're cool with that, you'll be like, Con, I love what I'm doing. That's great. Do that. Right? Do that. But if you want to escape the rat race, if you want to escape the JOB, control your own destiny, have your own business so you can control your own schedule, your own time, is you got to build your own business first. Because if you take the $100,000 and you go buy a rental property, you know how much that rental property pays you a month? $250 per door. If you're in a Midwest or market where houses are a lot cheaper, best case, $500 a month. So you're taking your $100,000 to exchange for $500 a month. How do you think $500 a month is going to change your life right now? Ain't going to do shit. So I tell people, dude, if you need today's money, you wholesale. If you rather get future money, you buy and hold. So if you need today's money, because you can take that $50,000, invest into your self-education, build your business to kickstart your business, you can start making $20,000 a month. To me, I don't care what city, what state you live in, $20,000 a month, you can live a pretty good life. And let's just say for those of you working at a JOB, let's just say you're making $10,000 a month. You took the money that you've been saving, I don't know for how long, man, 2 to 3 years, $100K, buy the rental property. What happened if within a year, the renter move out and they destroy your property? All the money that you thought that you got from your passive income, bam, gone. You probably even have to come out of pocket with an extra $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Where you're going to get that money? And this is why the mom and pop, man, this is why we target the mom and pop. Because that was their mindset, right? They own a few rentals. They keep the rent low because they don't want the turnover, the renter to move out, right? And the property has never been upkept or updated because they don't got the money to do it. Because you're making $5,000 or $10,000 a month. You're not going to be able to have extra $20,000, $30,000 to do the renovation or the turnover. So that's why they're in that distressed situation, right? So what I'm saying, if you're making $5,000 to $10,000 from your JOB, renter move out, now it's going to cost you $20,000, $30,000 to rehab the property. You ain't got no money, right? So now you're stressing. But for me, 14 rentals, I don't care if all 14 go vacant. I don't. I'll just write a check to pay for the mortgage. Not a big deal. Renter move out. We just had to do a turnover. Cost me 15 G's. Wrote a check. Didn't even care. Because you know what? Those rentals, I care. It's appreciation. I knew that 15,000 going to go back into that rental property in the next, 10, 15 years going to double. It's the place you park your money. And that's when you already got rich. You park your money to hedge against inflation. Because if it sits in the bank, it goes down in value. We all know that, right? But the biggest thing I'm telling you right now, the biggest reason why rich people own real estate is because of the tax benefit. And a lot of you, dude, you don't make enough money to worry about taxes. Unless, so that's why I tell people, once you have built your wholesaling business to the point where you're making $20,000 a month, so whether you're closing 1 deal a month or 2 deals a month, but once you get to that $20,000 a month, then you need to start thinking about, hey, maybe every 4 wholesale deal you buy or you wholesale, you hold 1. That way it reduces your taxes. So instead of paying Uncle Sam 40%, that rental property is going to help you. And when you're making $20,000 a month, you don't care about $250 a month. But what you care about is saving 40% on your taxes. So if you make a milli, 400 G's, instead of 400,000 go to Uncle Sam, it goes to your investment. It goes to your asset. And then obviously, we know over the next 30 years, your renter pays it off and you own that property free and clear. But as you see what I'm saying, that is a 10, 15, 20, 30-year game plan. And a lot of times your cash flow doesn't get to the point where it makes huge impact on your life until that property is paid down and paid off. That's when you really, really enjoy the cash flow. And how do you pay those down and how do you pay them off within, I don't know about you, man, but I don't want to wait until I'm 60, 65, 80, 70 to enjoy my money. Lon, I don't have any kids. And for those of you who worry about, having kids and passing down to your kids, I'm telling you, the more money you leave to your kids, the worse it is that you're doing to them. It's not a blessing. It's a curse. They need to learn out. Dude, if you're an entrepreneur parent, if you teach them, if you raise them correctly, you taught them everything that they know, they should be able to go out there and hunt for themselves. Even if Lon and I don't want any kids, but even if we have kids, I'll do the same thing. If everything that they see me do, and if I taught them everything that they need to know, and if they're not out there, making their own money, then what's the point of leaving all of this to them? What you want to leave for them, knowledge and experience. That is way more than money. They need to learn how to make the money, how to keep the money, how to multiply it, and how to invest it. That's the 4th thing that they need to learn. Okay, not leaving them a bunch of money and they don't know how to do shit with it. So, so to pay off your rental early, within 5 to 10 years, guess what you have to do? You need the active income. Make sense? You need the active income to come in to start paying down and paying off your rental property. So you don't need to own hundreds of rentals. There are people that I paid $30,000 to go to this mastermind, and they own, hundreds of rentals. And some of them only makes $10,000, 10 to 20,000 in passive income a month because they leverage every single one of them. But Lon likes to focus on paying them off. So even though I have only 14 rentals, I have way less than there, but most of my rental we owe very little on them compared to how much they're worth and how much income they bring in. So right now I'm cash flowing about $10,000 a month after all expenses are being paid. But you know how long it took me? I would say 7 years. And that's just taking my active income, paying them down. And there is another clip from Uncle G. And I know some of you, watch Uncle G, Grant Cardone, and some of you like him, some of you don't like him. But he said if he wanted to make $10 million today, he would not buy real estate. He would just go out there and host a seminars, an event. He would have just do an event, get X amount of people there and make 10 mil. So what he's saying is that you got to focus on your active income, your business first. Everybody, every single person that you see that owns a lot of real estate has a business that pump them and produce them a boatload of money. Robert Kiyosaki, guess how he makes his first milli? It wasn't through real estate, right? So he got rich was not through real estate. He got wealthy with real estate. He got rich by actually running a business. So just make sure that you guys understand and get that straight. So if you don't have your own business yet, I highly suggest that you focus on building that first. Take the money you have saved and just kickstart that business and just pump into that business. It's just like your little child that you have, your newborn. You got to feed it. You got to take care of it, right? Until it can run and walk by itself. That's when you start to think about having another kid or diversify. But that's my 2 cents.
I feel like that was like thousands of dollars worth of coaching right there. That was fantastic.
You're so kind, so sweet, Jenna. So, Jenna, anything else that we need to cover in this?
No, I think we covered it. It's just basically, I think is the best example you gave is like, it's almost like signing up for a gym. So if you guys are serious about wanting results, like if we sign up for the gym and we don't go, it's not the gym's fault. If we sign up for this and you guys are really serious, I mean, it's less than $100 a month to be able to have access to this. A lot of times, I mean, like when I look back when I first got into real estate, I spent probably over $50,000 on having a mentor or having training. If I knew that there was something like this that was out there that I could have access to for $100, less than $100 a month, that would be able to give me all the different things. And then I would potentially have access to it once I had some sales, once I had some wholesales, and I could invest in an amazing mentor like somebody like you. I mean, it would have been a game changer for somebody like me. So this is such an opportunity for everybody to have something that will be able to help them find their deals and liquidate those deals all within the same platform for less than $100 a month. So it's just all based on how serious somebody is on as an investor. If you're ready to take that to the next level, like you said, if you're tired of just watching different videos and not actually taking action, this is the taking action part. This is the part that will make it real. You will find the deals here. You just have to put in the work, and then it's gonna be like an assembly line.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't understand this, there are people out there you might not know, but I do, right? There are people out there that are using this exact same software, but they're charging you shit, man, $10,000 just to get into their coaching so you can get exclusive access to this. I'm just bringing it out there. I'm showing this to you guys, the community, right? Because my whole mission is that I really want to help all of you escape the J-O the B, man. Dude, I did the whole J-O the B working for someone like a little bitch for 8 years. And I don't know about you, man. You only got 2 choices in life. Sorry about all my bomb that I'm dropping here with the F-bomb and all that. But, you only got 2 choices in life. You either get rich or be a little bitch. That's just how it is. You either be the boss or you work for a boss. But a lot of you you want to be the boss, but you're not willing to do boss shit. You know what boss got to do? No weekends. No holidays. Now, I'm not saying that would be the rest of your life, but you need to make the first few years of your life building your business. People just don't understand. There is no such thing as work-life balance. Lon and I was working on weekends when they don't. Lon and I was working on holidays when they don't. Lon and I was working while they're sleeping because we made the sacrifice. We're willing to pay the price. And my whole goal, dude, is I remember when I first got into real estate, I was struggling, just like some of you right now. Dude, I remember Lon and I was walking around the neighborhood, and I look up into the sky, and I was praying to God. And I said, God, please show me the way. Help me close that first deal. And I promise you, dude, I'm going to take this to the next level because I need some fuel. I know some of you right now, you've been running. You've been at this and you're getting exhausted and you're running out of fuel. And I'm telling you right now, your turning point is just keep pushing through. Because if you can push through the pain, success is just on the other side. And surely enough, man, God hear my prayer, close my first deal, and the rest is history. So you got to commit. All right? Stop with the shiny objects. I was once there. Trust me. I am too looking for the get rich quick. There is no such thing. I was bouncing from one thing to another. Right? Everything sounds so good until you get into it. And the thing is, I also want you guys to understand that don't look at the mountain that you're climbing. Just put your visor on, look down, and just take one step at a time, one day at a time. Inch by inch is a cinch. Yard by yard will be hard. So don't look at how far you have to go. Just look at how far you have came from. Some of you probably don't even know what wholesaling is. Maybe a month ago, and now you do. Some of you might not know how to pull a list just 3 weeks ago. Well, now you do. I'm telling you, dude, it's the baby steps, right? It's the small things that you do every single day that create a big, massive results. I think there's something from Bruce Lee where he said, I don't fear a man that can kick 1,000 kick. I fear a man that can kick the same exact kick for 1,000 times. All right? So it really come down to his business is just like doing the same thing over and over and over again, man. It's just getting a better and better at it every single day. And I can also tell you one more thing. Every self-made millionaires or multimillionaire that I have ran into, that when they decided to start any business venture, they do not know the whole entire step. Like they do not see, like they don't know, okay, I'm going to do this. Like they don't know the whole entire process. They don't have the whole picture figured out. They just pull the trigger. And a lot of you, dude, you're lacking on speed. Speed, dude. Get to the money. A lot of you, dude, you're lacking on speed. Fast. Execution. And Jenna, do you follow Hamosi? Alex Hamosi?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if you've seen this one video, but this one video he talks about, he said, hey, he was speaking at this event, and there was another kid that I've been asking him to go on to his podcast. And obviously Hamosi's busy, so he didn't have time, but he met the guy somehow at the event, and he said, hey, bro, I got about 20 minutes. You want to do it? You know what the kid said? The kid turned him down because he said, hey, we're not at, the timing. I'm not at my office. I'm not at my studio. Dude, bullshit. Do you see, this is the problem. Dude, sometime opportunity only come once. And perfection is what's going to kill you. It's speed to action. Let's just do it, bro. I would be like, let's go, bro. Set it up freaking in the bathroom if all I care about. Dude, because it's not the scenery, bro. It's the knowledge, the information. A lot of people, create content and they're like, oh, I got to stand in front of a Rari. I got to stand in front of a mansion, bro. All wrong, dude. Dude, I went from 0 to 1 million followers. That's way before I bought Baby Rari. It's the information, the knowledge, the value that you bring is what's more important. But he cares about the stuff that shouldn't even be worried about. So a lot of you do, sometimes opportunity only comes once. And people, I know that I'm talking a lot, but I need you guys to understand this. People said that it's never too late to start. Wrong. I disagree with that. I believe that there is a time where it's just too late to start, man. Yes, you can start and you can build a business and you can make millions of dollars in your 70, but what's the point? Do you guys not understand? Like, I know how hard it is to build a successful business. To make $1 million, dude, people are like, oh, $1 million nowadays, nothing. Oh, come on, man. Shit, bro. Dude, $1 million is still a lot of money. 200,000, 100,000, still a lot of money. I know how hard it is, man. And so you see, and I don't want to be in my 60 and sacrifice 10 years to build a business. And let's just say that you get to your 70 and you became a multimillionaire. What's the point? You know that every single billionaire that's in their 70s and 80s wish they would trade everything just to be young again, just to be 18, just to be 20, just to be 30, just to be 40. So a lot of you right now, dude, the biggest advantage you have on top of it is your age. You got time. But there will be a time where you don't have time anymore. And I know some of you probably don't follow his name called Jack Ma. He's the owner of Alibaba. And I agree with him, not because he's Asian, but I think the same. He said when you're 60, you shouldn't worry about building a business. You should just hang out with your grandkids. Because there's a saying that when you're 60, you're counting down by years. When you're 70s, you're counting down by months, like your lifeline. 80s, you're counting down by days. 90s, you're counting down per hours. 100, dude, you're probably hitting baby Jesus soon. So which means I believe that when you're 60, dude, you shouldn't worry about hustling, grinding, trying to build a business, dude. Just be content and just hang out with your grandkids. Just have fun, enjoy the rest of your life, and not worry about chasing after making another dollar and being a millionaire or a multimillionaire. And I hope that my word that I'm saying here does not discourage those of you who are in your 60. If you really want to, you be like, hey, Kong, I have spent the last 60 years doing all the things that I want, man. There's no regret. But now I want to build a business. Cool. Do it. You can. But I'm just telling you, you just got to be willing to say, hey, I'm going to sacrifice the next 5 to 10 years of my life to build this thing. That's all it is. I just don't think it's worth it to sacrifice when you're 60 to sacrifice another 10 years. A lot of you you underestimate, dude, what you can do in a few years. Like you think that within 1 or 2 years that you can go from zero, right, to like $1 million. That's where you're wrong. That's why a lot of people, I believe, that they quit, and they quit too soon because their expectation, like when reality hits, and like their expectation is so high that when reality hits them, they'll be like, oh shit, I'm nowhere near close to where I wanted to be in life. And that's just kind of how it is, man. So when I first got into real estate, and the reason I got here, I got rid of the get rich quick because I've tried multiple things, and I just knew it's all going to be the exact same shit. And I told myself that I'm willing to, I'm willing to, dude, spend I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to take action every single day. I'm going to work toward this. I don't care how long it takes, but this is the one that I'm going to commit to build my business, to become financially free. I don't want to be trapped at the JOB anymore. I don't want to work for someone until I'm 65. I don't care about the 401k. When I retire, I want to have hundreds of thousands coming in per month on my passive income, not $2,000 a month, not $3,000 a month from Uncle Sammy. With inflation, you will barely get by. That's why you got to take control of your own destiny and build your own empire today. Jenna, you want to add anything to that?
No, you're just dropping some amazing information here. So I'm loving hanging out with you all the time.
I appreciate you, Jenna. So Jenna, is there anything else that we're missing that we need to tell the people about the software? If you want to go through really quick how they sign up, and for those that sign up, they always confused about how they get the credit on it, and actually to do, you know, to tell them the wholesale score and all that. Could you roughly talk about that just for like 5 minutes or so?
Yeah, let me just share my screen here.
Awesome.
All right, so let me go back to how to get the software. So you're just going to go to dealsformenow.com. So DEALS, the number 4, MENOW. So dealsformenow.com. There's going to be a getting started button. So once you go to get started, you're going to see that there's going to be 2 different versions. One of them is going to be $97 a month. One's going to be $199 a month. If you want additional artificial intelligence coverage and some additional lead types, it's going to be up to you guys. And then what will happen is when I showed you guys that artificial intelligence scoring, what happens is you come into your lead section here. So if we go into our property leads, if you did the basic version, you're going to see that you'll have 1 credit for 1 zip code. And this kind of where mine says get started. Let me share this tab here. So you're going to see where mine says get started. You're going to see there's going to be a button that will, or a little area that will say that you have 1 credit for 1 artificial intelligence zip code. If you did the more advanced package, then you're going to see that you're going to have a credit for an entire county. You guys, you still have nationwide access to all the leads. When it comes to the artificial intelligence, you're going to have that scoring based on the specific region of your choosing. So whether it be 1 zip code or a whole county, or you can even go into your account after the fact and you can add in more. So if you wanted to add your whole state, you can. If you wanted to turn AI on for the whole country, you totally can. If you want more zip codes, if you want more counties, you can totally add more to your area here. But the AI is, you'll see it in around where it says get started. You'll see your credits in your account, you'll redeem them, and then you can go from there and start your marketing.
Also, too, is, you know, for those of you who actually lock in and get the software, I can tell you right now in the future that the price probably going to be changing on them. All right, so if you lock in at that price, good for you, because I believe that it's undervalued. So now what I want you guys to understand is that, you know, everything that Jenna tells you here, you can always go back, rewatch it, you know, and do what you need to do. You can always reach out to support. If you have any questions, upgrade, downgrade, or cancel, or whatever it is that you want to do, it's all right there on the software. Jenna, I appreciate you so much taking your time to jump on and do this with me. And maybe
Always great to see you.
next time I'll get you some Hawaiian cookie.
I know. You just
'Cause now
can't
I'm gonna
make
go back
videos like that
around.
and tease us all and then not bring cookies for everybody.
Maybe next time I'll get you one of these too, but in pink.
Cool.
I appreciate you.
Alrighty.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Good seeing you. Take care.
Bye. All right, all right. So for those of you who's still on here and you said, "Hey Kong, I'm the guy or the gal that you're talking to where I need that hands-on coaching. I'm the person that, hey, you tell me what to do. I'll go do it. And if I have any question, can I hit you up? Can I call you? I want to be a part of your Wholesale to Million community. Dude, we have a ton of students that are closing deals left and right, JVing deals, like they're doing deals with each other. And that's the community that you want to be a part of. You get 24/7 support, right? We'll guide you through every step of the way, show you how to start, build, grow, scale, and automate your wholesaling operations. So if you're one of them that are just like me, who like, Kong, I need that extra help, that extra coaching. I'm the type of person that needs the hands-on coaching. I don't have a problem with taking action. I just have a problem with don't know what to do. That was me. Or maybe you're doing the wrong thing. You're not doing the right thing. And sometimes I'm telling you guys, it's just a little tweak. And if you watch some of the interview of some of the students that I brought on, some of them just need a little tweak because they were doing the wrong thing. And we just go in there. We'd be like, hey, dude, well, don't do this. Why don't you start doing this now? And then come back later and tell me what kind of results you're getting. And we'll look at it and then we'll tweak it again. And that's why I think having a mentor is different from doing it yourself. Because a lot of time when you're doing it yourself, you don't really know if you're on the right path, you're doing the right thing or you're not. But having a mentor that I've already been where you want it to be and they can look at whatever you're doing wrong. And that's why Michael Jordan and LeBron or everybody, they have a coach that look at them, how they shoot, right? Because sometimes when you're in the picture, it's kind of hard to see, right? So if you're that person, just go to coachwithkong.com, fill out the application, book a call with my team, and I look forward to seeing you in the academy. Until next time, you guys, let's go get this money. Oh, if you enjoy this, make sure you boom, smash that thumbs up. If you're new to the family, be sure to boom, smash that subscribe button. Until next time, you guys, take care and let's go get this money. Aloha. I love Hawaii, man.